It says 2 out of every 6,000 BBLs have fatal side effects. What's up? It's me, your girl KarterChanelle, and I'm tapping in today on a very sensitive topic. I just wanted to discuss, how everyone is feeling after hearing about the death that occurred with Dr. Sampson. A death occurred June 16th. And it's pertinent to all of us in the surgery community, all of us who receive surgery, who's thinking about surgery, who's had family members, anybody in this whole field and all of the groups and everything. It's very, very, very sensitive. And it's so sad that actually happened. So if you guys are not familiar, I have my MacBook here and I'm going to read it from here because I don't want to misquote, because this is unfortunate and I don't want to speak nothing wrong about the death, what occurred. RIP to her. My condolences to her family. This is very sad and so unfortunate. And it's a situation that a lot of us face, This happened June 16th. My surgery was June 29th. My pre-op was June 28th. Well, I remember sitting there in the lobby and one of the girls brought up, I heard it was a death here. And the security guard who was sitting there, the little the chunky Colombian or white or whatever he was. Y'all know who I'm talking about if y'all went. He was sitting there at the desk and he actually started speaking on it. I actually recorded him and I went back to see if it was still there. But you know how you delete something, it goes to your trash, it sits there for a certain amount of days or month and then it's deleted. Well, of course, this was 5 months ago and I didn't put it in one of my journey videos, but I think I referenced him or something about that when I was saying you may have dodged the bullet. But he was talking and he was like, no, what happened was, something went on, cardiac wise, and just skipped over and start saying how, us girls need to be honest, with our medical records and all of that stuff. And yeah, we all were yeah, this is serious. That's when I learned that people can actually fabricate their labs and stuff. So what happened was Dr. Sampson, he had his license restricted following a patient's death after an unauthorized plastic surgery. This is on Yahoo News. If you go on and you type in Dr. Sampson death, it'll come up. It said the doctor used techniques that were known to be risky and prohibited according to the emergency order. The procedure, known as Brazilian butt lift, has the highest mortality rate of any cosmetic surgery. That alone is so scary. They said that Dr. Sampson of Coral Gables, Florida, was subject to an emergency restriction order October 14th from the State Department of Health for failure to operate in a manner that is correct and safe. They said that he had no previous disciplinary actions, because it's crazy because, as you guys know, if you look at my tummy tuck journey, I was so happy to be going with the king because they call him the king. So the king, his precisions, his tummy tucks, his cuts, everything was real precise. I actually had booked with him for my surgery that was to take place on June 29th because he doesn't do surgeries on Mondays. However, he didn't want to do 2 procedures. He would more so do the 360 BBL. I had added on boobies, and he doesn't do multiple procedures as such. He didn't do tummy tucks and the breast. So, oh God, I don't want to say I escaped the bullet, but, I was led elsewhere. So, he had no previous, nothing on his license. So they did a BBL, which is the Brazilian butt lift. The procedure involves removing fat from other areas of the patient's body, such as the midsection, and injecting it into the buttocks to create a more rounded, lifted appearance. On June 16th, Sampson reportedly performed the procedure on a 33-year-old woman, according to the emergency order. During the fat removal portion of the operation, Sampson allegedly lacerated the patient's abdominal wall, liver, bladder, and intestines, according to the emergency order. And this gives me chills because even though I was going to him for a tummy tuck, you lipo the flanks and some of your ab, that could have as well been me. That could have well been anybody. And so then they said during the fat injection, Sampson allegedly used a technique of injecting fat into the deep muscle of the glutes, which is known to cause an increased risk of mortality for patients and prohibited by the Florida Board of Medicine, according to the emergency order. The patient had a cardiac event and was later pronounced dead from pulmonary embolisms or blood clots blocking the arteries of the lungs. They said that the medical examiner found fat particles mixed with blood clots in the patient's airways, arteries, and heart, according to the emergency order. So when I tell you, this was just so sad to hear about. And it gives me chills because we've all been in this situation, who's had it, who's had an order, who's had surgery. We've all been in this position to whereas it's like, God bless us. We're stressed out, but we do it anyway. We're signing the papers. You guys know my BBL journey. I'm just signing away because I know the ultimate result could be death or paralysis or something really major. But at the end of the day, it could be death. And I'm still signing away like I'm going for it. Lo and behold, the people who care most, my family, there already was like, you look good. And I'm pretty sure her family and loved ones might have said that. And my kids was, you look good already. And that's our ultimate goal, is to make it to the flat side and back to our loved ones, right? And God forbid something happen and this happens and you can't make it back. Do you know how devastating like a family member would be? Like, especially the kids. I know for me, myself personally, I would feel so devastated because it's like, here it is, my kids, my prized possessions, who I only care about, the only people that matter in my life, really, other than my mom and them, but y'all know. They're already thinking like you're perfect. They love all of my fat, my fupa, everything. And here it is, I go and get it done and something happened and I succumb to whatever, and just the disappointment that my kids will be like, we told her she was perfect already anyway, but for whatever reason we still go through it. Whether if it's we worked out, we've tried exercise, we've tried diets, we tried diet pills, we tried this, we tried starving, we tried all of that, but we got extra fat. We might have had 50 kids. We want to get it done anyway. So we make that decision. But when we make that decision, based on our doctors. No matter what we sign, that we could die, death, all of that stuff, same stuff. It doesn't matter. We're choosing this doctor based on their history. We're choosing this doctor based that he's not finna do no bullshit and get us in a position that will cause us to die. Whether they're later, a week later, whatever it may be. We're choosing him. We're putting our life in their hands. So just because we sign that don't mean like, oh yeah, it's free for a doctor to sit here and fuck up and perform something that he know he shouldn't be doing. Like, come on now. But then it's like, we do the research. We do all of that stuff. But again, we can research, because I know I did. And it takes months. It takes you forever to do all of that research. And then finally, when I make my decision to go with a surgeon, here it is. He's doing malpractice. And just because he hasn't got caught or had any deaths, what you do in the dark comes to light. And just so happened what he was doing in the dark, it came to light, to an untimely demise of this young girl. And I'm sitting here like, dang, that could have very well been me. But God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. And that's why I said, like, my bunkie, when I had seen her when I was coming from my post-op, and she was just bawling in tears. And I spoke about her on my other BBL journey. Like, I told her, you might have dodged a bullet. We don't know if that doctor was tired. You don't know if something like this was going on. And yes, it's time consuming. It's hella expensive because you got to cancel your surgery, or whether you got to get sent home, or, whatever it may be. Like she was saying, she's been away from home. She doesn't even like being away from home. She was on the younger side too. Sweet little girl. She's so cute. And she's cute now because I follow her and stuff. Her BBL is super cute. But you never know what God was looking out for you that time. It said that, dang it, I wish I can find it too. It was like, here it goes. It said demand for BBLs are on the rise, and consumers have been increasingly warned to be wary of the unqualified surgeons, as BBLs have the highest mortality rate of any cosmetic surgery. This procedure is risky because it involves injecting fat near a vital artery. If injected fat makes its way into an artery by mistake, the resulting blood flow blockage can be deadly. And we all know, like, when blood flow is restricted, you can have a stroke or anything. It says 2 out of every 6,000 BBLs have fatal side effects. Again, condolences to her family, RIP to her. Let's continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share.